Yo, what's up, family? This is Jameer, and you are tuned into the Encore Radio Show. Let's get it!
The views and comments expressed on the following radio program by its hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect the views of...
Phone calls outside there, customer on this way, passengers till I pass away, lifestyles of the rich and fame, waste the drugs in an ashtray, smoking out in that cascade, showing out in that valet, these are lifestyles of the rich and fame.
I'm trying to get a Bushini account. My alpha probably talking more than your rent is about. I'm spending money just to make it, we getting it out. But that's the hustle, nigga, guess I just figured it out. Gold on my neck, goals on my check, holes on my dick, foes on the net. Niggas think I rose from the dead, put the pressure in, they fold under that. Fool niggas only trying to join the code for the DAC, no flash. Doing shit that never was possible in the past.
Alright, folks, good morning. This is the Encore Radio Show. Live here, this is your boy Wise Soul, rocking out with Jameer, as you guys heard. Make sure you guys follow us Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Encore Radio Show. Check out our site, EncoreRadioShow.com. Jameer, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm blessed, brother. I thank you for inviting me. I'm grateful to be here, you know?
Thank you for coming. Thank you for giving us this fantastic conversation that we just
had. Man, yo. At some point in the show, we got to bring Cha-Cha in here because let me tell you, we got a debate to go on.
This craziness, yes, please. We must understand. I must understand her logic or lack thereof.
Women not logical, bro. They're emotional. She's leaving out parts. We gonna get it. We gonna get it.
God. Anyway, so all right. So you work for WBLS.
I work for WBLS on Hot 97 and WLIB, which is a gospel station.
Nice. Well. Okay. All of them, they're like all in the same area.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We're all under one company, which is Emmis Communications.
Yes.
So. I have the fortune enough to work with all of them. So, I could be ratchet, I could be soulful, I get saved all at the same time. I'm ready, man.
There we go. All right, so you're the digital producer.
Yeah, I'm a digital producer.
What does that entail? What do you actually do?
All right, so what a digital producer does, man, is I'm able to shoot video content, come up and storyboard with a lot of content, original stuff for Hot, BLS, and LIB, and just kind of put my creative 2 cents in there and trying to build content as well as shoot interviews and interview artists too. So that's that's been added to my repertoire for about maybe like a year and a half, and I mean it's just a blessing. I love it.
Nice. So how long you been doing this?
Like being a digital producer?
Yeah, working with and working with WBLS and all.
I think for BLS, my 3rd year anniversary just happened. So I started.
Congratulations.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I started off at BLS, and then the companies merged.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna say 2 Februaries ago. So yeah. So in 2014, February, BLS and LIB merged with Hot 97. So I've been with them since 2 Februaries ago.
2 Februaries
ago.
So
yeah, it's been great since then, man.
I know a lot of people they always ask me, how do I get into work at these companies, and I give them the same answer that I have. I don't know. Yeah. Shit, I've been trying to get in at some of these companies at the same time, and I don't know. Bro, you gotta know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody.
Bro, yo, let me just be honest with you. I give you a first of all, to answer your question, literally I applied online.
Literally,
whoa, I swear, yo, I didn't know that.
The online system works.
I applied online, and about after a month and a half, I done forgot about it. I was about to get another job. They called me up, but previous to that, when Kiss was around, when Kiss was there, and they didn't make the merger with BLS yet. I randomly, I showed up one day at that same building where Emmis is. Showed up, got past security. Showed up, went upstairs, got up to the 7th floor. Yeah. I didn't know. I knew of a person there. And I just said their name. I said they're expecting me. And I said, I don't have no meeting, nothing scheduled. I waited in that office until they were like, well, look, she says she don't know who you are. We're going to throw you out. So, you can't stay here like you're loitering. But it just show you the power of persistence, man. Because, I was there. And then, probably a year and a half later, I was working for
I'm about to do that as serious.
Yo,
I didn't apply, and them motherfuckers ain't hit me.
Yo, it's so hard. It's so difficult. But you got to figure it's a lot of competition out there. So I think how I got in was because I left grad school and I like picked up a camera. Like I was working on radio with Robin. Shout out to Robin J. We got a shout out to Robin J. Definitely the takeover. I was part of that. Yes. Like when it launched, and I started picking up a camera, and I got okay and decent, and that's how I got in, because I started off as a video producer, and I worked my way in until I was able to kind of work and start interviewing people and being on camera and filling in for jocks when they weren't there. Yeah. You know, I pimped the system. Got pimped.
Everybody has their way.
Yeah, man.
Everybody has their way. And speaking about their way, everyone also has their way to their path of hip hop. Like how everyone has this fantastic unique story. So what is yours?
What happened was, like, my mom was a little older, so she didn't really let me listen to hip hop. Okay. So I grew up around a lot of classic soul, funk. I don't know if y'all remember CD 101.9, like the light smooth jazz station.
I have a unique stories to you. I'll wait till you.
Okay, all right. So like I was in a lot of smooth jazz. I was like the only 7-year-old who knew who Bodie James was. Like I was really you know what I'm talking about, man. There you go. Represent.
He knows everything.
There you go. You know, smooth jazz CD 101.9. So I knew a lot of that. So I really couldn't listen to hip hop until like I was around my like older cousin. And you know, like my older cousin, she happens to be a hip hop head, like involved with hip hop from like close to its inception. So I got around her, so I started listening to, you know, Biggie. Jay-Z, De La Soul, Tribe, like Wu. You know, then I became engulfed with the culture. I really fell in love and kind of conceptualized it on my own though, when I heard Umi Says by Mos Def.
Wow, okay.
Right, because I'm gonna tell you, it was a Michael Jordan commercial, and it had Umi Says playing in the background. It was the underlay of the song, and the commercial was so dope because it was like him, Michael, Derek Jeter, Roy Jones Jr.
Wow, okay.
It was a big ass. It was like for the 16s. I remember that a little bit,
but okay.
Yeah. We'll pull it up. We'll pull up the
YouTube
commercial afterwards. Yeah. But I saw it and I was like, what is this song? It was magnetic. So I knew hip hop before that because I was in the Puffy. Remember Shiny Coat, Puffy and Mace? They were cute, man. Like, come on now. So, but I really felt like I identified with hip hop after that, and that was a turning point where I started going forward, but I also started going back. And all the soul singers that I knew, they were blended into hip hop. So I'm like, I know this song, like I know it. It was like I heard
the original,
right? And so now, which is funny to bring everything full circle, my mom, who wouldn't let me listen to hip hop, is now discovering Ready to Die and Illmatic and go, well, where was I with this? I was like, you want to let me listen to it, but like it's crazy. So now she loves it. So
that's what's up.
It's funny, man.
That's what's up. I'm sort of kind of getting my mother into hip hop now. Yeah. It's 2016. No, my family isn't from. My family's from Barbados, and when my family got here in '85ish or whatever, New York was already violent, and hip hop was just as violent, or at least it portrayed itself that way. So I didn't listen to hip hop. I caught glimpses of it on the radio, but I didn't listen to hip hop. I think the first hip hop song I must have heard was in like 1996.
Right.
And
huge year.
Even then, I still didn't listen to it consistently. I didn't personally have a radio either. So Hot 97, unless we were in the car, the chances of that being played was so slim.
Right?
Yeah. Like, I would have to get in the car first and like switch to it real quick before she got in, and that was a dub. Anyway, long story short, the first CD that I ever bought was the thing is called the Slim Shady Project.
Slim Shady LP.
Exactly. Yeah. Now I got that. I was going to this summer school over off of Nostrand, like close down to the junction. And this dude used to sell bootlegs outside.
Of course.
Son, I copped the CD. I was like, I'm gonna go listen to this shit. And I listened to it, and I didn't know. Yeah, I remember this like it was yesterday. I didn't know that he was like the weirdest, whitest, but most vulgar artist of all time. I didn't really grasp that concept at the time. And I'm playing this shit. And my father had like these big ass speakers. It's a Friday night, and I'm playing this shit at the max.
Oh, man.
My mother's in the back. She's not paying no attention to this shit. My aunt who lived downstairs called me and was like, yo, turn.
You were scaring folks. You were scaring folks.
Bruh.
Your family was not ready to hear that.
No.
That's a great way to introduce hip-hop to them. Marshall Matt, like some Shady LP? What?
Yo, to this day, Stand is still one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
For a fact. Wow. But... You know, everyone has like unique stories as well, and you have a fairly unique. This is a bit old, but you have a fairly unique story as well. Summer Jam.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Travis Scott. Let's talk about this. What happened? Please tell me what happened.
All right, I'm a lay down the story for you. So my assignment was to follow Ebro around, right? Because Ebro does all this cool stuff with artists, like during Summer Jam.
Yes.
Ebro did not want to tape. Okay, he didn't want to tape at that time, so it was about 3:00. So I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take initiative.
Yeah.
I went out there and I was back and forth, but I started taping the festival stage. So I was first on stage for like Tiana Taylor. So Tiana Taylor, same position. So I was in the back of the back of the stage.
Yeah.
And I was just filming, you know, boom, boom, boom. So I leave. I come back. And Travis Scott was just getting on stage. Yeah. I didn't like. I knew who Travis Scott was, but I'm more of an old school hip hop, golden era hip hop. Like even 96, 97, like it's kind of my year. So I knew of Travis Scott, but I had never really.
Yeah.
I didn't know him to be around him and to want to do it. So when I was filming, I was like, oh, this dude is kind of raw. Like I had just started vibing to the songs. Like people in the audience were just going crazy. It was bugged out. So I was on stage for probably I would say maybe 90% of his set. Okay. I was on stage so long his guitar player passed me a blunt. And I was like, nah, like I mean, we on stage, like people can see me. I don't want to get fired. So I was like, nah. So I remember I'm videotaping. Me and Travis made eye contact probably about maybe 3 or 4 times. So through the duration of his set. So, I'm like, all right, we cool now. Like, I'm family. Like, I've been up here. Like, this cool. So, when he goes, hey, yo, get your nerdy ass off the stage, bro. And he started, like, pointing. Yeah. And you can see from the video, I'm still there because I'm like, yo, somebody behind me about to get flamed the fuck up. This is about to be crazy. So I'm like, because I had been there the whole time. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, this is about to be crazy. And then he starts walking closer. He starts pointing. And I'm like, me? Damn. And then he like, yeah, you, get the fuck off the stage. And I was like, okay, well, Jameer, look, how you gonna handle the situation? So I was like, all right. I was like, yo, I work for High 97, this and that. He was like, I'm gonna fuck if you work for High 97. This is my show, this and that. So now I'm like, all right, well, this dude is now, he's walking, like we're like this close. Yeah, we're almost face to face. We're almost too close for comfort.
Right moment for a nigga moment.
Oh, right, yeah, because that was on board. Yeah. I said, so I told him, I was like, immediately, because now I'm feeling like you threatening my personal space. I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Bruh.
Right. I'm not the tallest dude. I'm not the most stocky dude. But I know a couple things about fighting. Right. So I'm like, all right. So I told him, I was like, yo, like, you want to pop off? We could pop off. So he was like, and you can hear him. It was real quick. But he was like, yo, I'm an artist, bro. This and that. Like, no disrespect. You got to get the fuck off the stage. So I'm like,
led with that.
Yo, right. So I'm like, and believe me, like it's weird because you just hear him on the microphone. So it was like, all right, cool, boom. So now, as you can see, where his manager's like trying to guide me away, and I kind of like pull back because I'm like, yo, like it's whatever at this point. Like you done embarrassed me. Yeah. Like yo, we can take it there. So we get to probably the edge of the stairs, like right by the stairs, and then. If you see, like I said, the video is real quick, but it felt like forever. Because I'm like, sure I'm about to have a nigga moment. It's a nigga meltdown about to happen. So his security comes, and it's like maybe 2 or 3 dudes. Security comes, boom. So at this point, I'm like, yo, Cause I'm not about to hit dude first. Cause I'm still in the industry. So I'm not trying to be known as the dude that hit Travis Scott. So I'm like, all right, if he not gonna put his hands on me, like, yo, whatever. So his security come, I'm like, yo, this dude is pussy. And I just like walk off. I'm tight though. So I kind of, in my mind, I kind of go back. I was about to go back up the stairs. Security was like this, and you know, I'm just like, yo, fuck this, you know, getting all belligerent. People like, yo, calm down. Now, in retrospect, I'm thinking, and I totally like blacked out because I'm like,
it'd be like that.
It'd be like that, right? So I'm just thinking that, yo, only these people have seen me. Bro, within an hour, I started getting the most texts. Like, I'm talking about, are you okay texts. You want me to roll up there text.
I think that was the first hit. They streamed it online.
Yeah, we streamed it. So I'm still thinking. I'm not even thinking. I keep it pushing. Like, I'm tight. I still want to see him at this point, but I'm not really grasping the concept that everybody has seen this. So I started getting texts. I'm like, all right, whatever. Boom. I get more texts. Then, like I said, I get, yo, you want me to? Niggas have to pull up text?
All in Jersey.
Right, all in Jersey. Like, yo, we already there.
Brooklyn
like,
don't play. What's
right.
up?
I'm like, nah. Cool. Yeah. So then, I think like later on in the show, a representative from Complex came up to me like, yo, we want to interview you. I'm like, for fucking what? And then I had to remember, like, yo, like, did this happen? And I think like a few hours later, like, it was trending. Now, to my surprise, like, I thought I was going to get totally trashed, but a lot of people just like, and trust me, I don't know dude. So I didn't know that he like kicks people out of his shit religiously. My thing is, I don't know you. I don't really care. I'm not a fan. We could scrap. We could not.
Never violate people. You know?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Feel me?
Just have some respect. I'm a black man. You a black man. We just I'm trying to get my bread and butter. You are compromising my livelihood by putting me in this position. So I kind of felt that as disrespect. But I chose to take it the higher road. Like, people's like, why you ain't trash him? I was like, yo, for what?
How would that have looked?
Like, and then I'm more of a, yo, when it comes to something like that, let's forget about social media. You know, if we not gonna fight, let me talk to you man to man. Because we going to respect each other by the end of that. You don't know me, I don't know you, but at the same time, I don't give a fuck how much. I'm sorry for cursing.
No, it's all good.
You know, I don't give a fuck how much money you have, how much fame and popularity you have. You gonna respect me as a black man and as a man. Period. So when that happened, I was like, yo, I want to sit down with him. This and that. He was supposed to come to Hot. He never did. And, you know, I had that was something that I had to just take on the chin. I was like, yo, I got to live with that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The odd thing about that is that I was at home. I've never gone to Summer Jam. Ever.
Yeah.
And this was the first, I was like, yo, I'm just gonna watch it on YouTube. I'm good. I'm watching, I was like, this is happening right now?
Yeah.
And then I had like, I think the stream froze and I saw people atting you. I was like, damn.
Yeah, it was.
This is gonna be.
I did not know, and I had to struggle. I struggled with that for a long time, like how to, cause I like mentor. So one of my biggest things about mentors, don't let nobody take you out of your character. Exactly. How can I preach that? And I wanna go see him. I want people people who's definitely making the offer a lot, you know, it was a juicy offer, you know, but I was like, yo, I have to keep my composure. I'm not going to be known as that dude.
And look where you at now.
Man, look where you at now. Yo, it's a blessing. Everything happened for a reason. That was a hurdle I had to jump over.
Exactly. And at least you got over it early and not like, you know, 5 years into your career where like now your ego is part of it too. And it's it's like, fam, so I already have established share. Like, I don't gotta worry about my job per se.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But anyway, you know, you mentioned Complex and whatnot. Did you actually do that interview?
Yeah, we did the interview. We did an interview. We did a write up, and I spoke to one of the dudes over the phone, and you know, it came out. It was a good interview, and I think at that point people understood. Like, people was like, yo, I see where dude is coming from. Like, his own fans was apologizing on behalf of him.
That's what's
and
up.
I was like, yo, man, like, it's cool. It happened, you know.
All right, so Complex and Holiday 7. The Complex came up Holiday 7 not too long ago.
Yeah, man.
And they had like a little bit of a, let's just go with the argument.
Yeah,
about
we can go with that.
Their top 50 album release list of the year. Now, I'm generally never on. I won't say never. Never is too much of a strong word. Me and Ebro don't necessarily see eye to eye with his points. So we're not supposed to see eye to eye to everyone anyway.
Right.
But at the same time, I did agree with Ebro. I think every single word, every single thing that he said, even his approach to it. But I personally, if I don't agree with something that you may say, I don't think I would bring you on to my platform to talk about why. I mean, see, I feel like Ebro flames people sometimes, a lot of times, really. But I mean, I wouldn't bring a person on. But what do you think came from that conversation?
I think Ebro has a tendencies a lot of the times, whether people like it or not, to speak what's on people's mind.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So when I saw the list, I was kind of like, Ray Shmurda at number 3? Like, really? Like, this is what we doing today. Okay.
Apparently.
So apparently, I was like, all right. So you know, of course, like what we doing when lists come out, like I work in the digital department. So I don't work in programming or like on air per se, but I work in the digital department. So we all, you know, it's a 20-something group.
Yeah,
we all debate. We all talk about it and, you know, discuss, you know, what went wrong, what's right about it.
Yeah.
And I just felt like number 3 for Ray Shremmerd was a little gassed.
A little
gas. No, I'm saying a little for me because I'm not even going to sugarcoat the fact that I haven't listened to the album. I heard the album.
I did.
I heard the album was pretty decent, but all right, see, you gave me it's not decent face. Like Ebro even say, y'all, I like the album, but number 3 it's a stretch. It's a complete another stretch. Cause I mean, if you think about it,
a lot of music came out.
A lot of music, and to put Ray Shremmerd in number 3 spot, I mean, I just think it's kind of disrespectful in a sense.
Yeah.
But I also understand that Complex is very smart. Because Complex will put stuff out like that to get clicks, and clickbaits. So you see, after that, they were putting out the top 50 singles, and then I think at the beginning of the year they dropped the best rappers from 1979 to now. So yeah, dope art. The art is good.
See, the hard thing about that, first off, I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with lists.
Okay.
Because the list, in itself, they're going to be subjective.
Of course.
I mean, it's everyone's opinion at the end of the day, right? But at the same time, there are some things that are sacred ground.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, top 3 is a sacred area in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't even fucking say Ray Shremmerd like that. Like, yeah. I had to wait till you pronounce that shit to say.
I said Shmurda. You heard me. I didn't say it right at all.
You know, that was their, to my understanding, that was their first album.
First project.
And I'm sorry, I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Right.
But I mean, you know, they have their business practice, and that is what it is. Fine. One thing that I thought was ironic, I guess from the outside looking in, is that people have a lot of that same argument with Hot 97. Yeah. And not even just with Hot 97, but with all the stations in the city. And once you look at it from a bigger perspective, all the cities that are owned by 2 of the biggest companies that own radio stations, is that only certain music is played.
Right.
That music is on rotation for the whole day. The only time that you will hear, you know, specific, or I guess more indie music will be really late at night, or when the random DJ plays it whenever they play it. Like, there's no consistent time. So I thought it was a bit ironic.
Yeah.
But again, when I look back at it, I always keep reminding myself, music business.
Very, very true. And I think in that case, and what I had to learn and what I did learn from working at a radio station was that it's a twofold system. Because the DJs are going back to the program directors and saying, yo, this is what's popping in the clubs.
Yeah.
You know, this is what people are requesting. So when people are requesting Panda by Designer, you know, And you know, it's a time and a place for things like that.
Yes, it is.
But when people are constantly requesting,
you have to play
the DJs are going back. It's a twofold system. Because I felt, trust me, I would love. There needs to be a filter.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm of a certain age where I'm able to filter out. Like I know I can listen to trap music, but it's kind of like fried chicken. You can't eat that shit every day.
You certainly
You know what I'm saying? You need your fruits, your vegetables.
Everything's good in moderation.
You know what I'm saying? So I need to hear Outkast. I need to hear Tribe because I work around that all the time. So there isn't a chance to filter it.
Yeah.
For people who don't have that filter, that's all they listen to. Yeah. That's all that they're exposed to. So they don't want to hear anything else. Yeah. So when you always at the club, and trust me, that's not me because I'm rarely at the club. When you're always at the club and Designer is popping in the streets and that's your homeboy and you and your homeboys in there, let me go to DJ. Yo, play that Designer. And when the club erupts, that's what the DJ is taking back to the program director. Here's what we need.
Okay, so let's where at this point then, if the DJs are only playing club music or the best things that knock in the club, where is there a lane for J. Cole to make it onto the radio aside from
very true
that? You know, that's where I think the system has it falls off.
Yeah.
You know, I think there needs to be another position where it's like, okay, well, you know what, like this music is really good and it has a strong support system. Yeah. But you will not hear it in the club because it's not a club record.
Very true.
And this artist is not a club artist. Like I've had people come and sit down next to me and tell me, oh, well, you know, I have to make a club record, and I'm like, what? That's not even your style though. Like it sounds like you're about to force to make a club record just so that the radio stations in the city could hear you.
Again, it's a twofold system. If an artist like Joey Badass was ever to conform and try to make a pop kind of club record, it would. But he has the knowledge not to do so because he has that filter that I was talking about. But if he was ever in that position, it would be because, yo, I see such and such blowing up. Everybody's blowing up around me, and they're making these certain kind of records. I need to eat. Yeah. So here's what I'm gonna do. So I see a lot of artists. Perfect example, OT Genesis. OT Genesis I saw OT Genesis live. Like he performed Cut It before it started getting like exposed like crazy. We had a Hot for the Holiday show. It was Busta Rhymes and friends. Amazing, and you know he's part of that conglomerate. When I heard him spit Cut It live, like, and his flow, his cadence, his lyrics, he was going ham. It was fire. Yeah. But he felt like he had to make a song like that. Because that's what people are. This is what the younger generation and people in the clubs are requesting. Yeah. Now, what something that Ebro said and that he spoke to the program director, he said on air, is that why are we not supporting Kendrick Lamar? Why they're not why radio stations not bumping Kendrick Lamar? He is an 11-time Grammy nominated artist and nobody's getting behind him like that. Like we may hear Kendrick hearer or thereer. Right? But we gonna hear Hotline Bling. Nothing wrong with that. Time and a place. We gonna hear Future. We gonna hear Jumpman. Time and a place. Yes. We gonna hear the same shit over and over, but that things that are uplifting, ironically, and conscious, we don't want to feed to the masses.
Which is it's a gift and a curse.
Absolutely.
And I'll say that to say this. You know, the reason why I even started this show in general was because I felt like that was missing. Yeah. You know, there was music out there that needed to be pushed, but there was no one out there to push it. And many shows popped up like mine for that exact reason as well. Right? Thankfully, we've survived over the years now. We're going on our third year now.
Congrats.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Throwing that clap sound effect. We gotta throw that in.
But at the same time, you know, I'm happy now because I realize that if the stations in our city and cities across the country were doing that, then I wouldn't have a lane.
That's very true.
There would be no lane for me. So gift and a curse. Yeah. I get a chance to sit down with fantastic people every day or every week, you know, and you know, radio plays what they play, and I play what I play, and eventually everyone gets a chance to hear what they want to hear.
Very true.
Cool.
Very true. I can't argue with that.
You've been segueing very well.
Hey, man. Segue champion.
The Grammys.
Yeah.
I just want to go over a couple genres here, a couple places where people can actually win. I guess the ones that I care about. So, best rap / sung album collab, we have One Man Can Change the World, Glory, Classic Man, These Walls, and Only. Which one do you think will probably win that category.
One man can't change. Can you give me the artist?
Yeah. One man can change the world. Big Sean, Kanye, and John Legend.
Right.
Glory is Common and John Legend. Classic Man, Jadena featuring Roman Giancarlo. I'm always fuck the name up.
It's okay.
These Walls, Kendrick Lamar, Bilal, Anna Wise, and the Thundercats, and Only featuring Nicki Minaj, Drake, Wayne, and Chris Brown.
Okay, so now you're asking me which one do I think?
Yes.
Personally,
your own personal opinion, unpopular or not.
Okay, here's my thing. This year, about 2015, it's undeniable.
Okay.
It's undeniable to ignore the fact that Kendrick Lamar's stamp on the game was needed, was relentless, and was timely.
Yes.
With everything going on, we know that...
And we're definitely getting into that.
Yeah, okay, we're going, yeah. Look, Segway champion since 4th grade, baby. You know what I'm saying? But it's, for me, I just felt like, and a lot of people say, you know, I didn't really get the Kendrick record. I didn't really like it. My homie, Deani, Scottie Beam on I-97 said, and I think it was perfect. She said, it's not the album that I necessarily wanted, but I think it's the album that I necessarily needed.
There we go.
And that's not even her favorite album this year, but it's my favorite album this year. And I felt like that album was so needed. It was like things just started happening where people just started to wake up.
Yes.
It was like that was one of the key moments where it was like snapping. So not deterring off from If These Walls Could Talk, but when you listen to Wesley's Theory, when you listen to things like If These Walls Could Talk, when you listen to Hood Politics, when you listen to How Much a Dollar Costs,
President Obama's favorite song, and you listen to it, it's a culmination of things that African Americans are going through in this country. It's the DNA and the mind frame of black people today. Yes. Right? So, to me, of course that should win. Right? Because it's undeniable the effect that is having. All right. I didn't even touch exactly. All right. I was waiting to see what you're saying.
Okay. Undeniable the effect that it's as timely today.
Protest anthem.
It's as timely today, and I'm going to say it, whoever could persecute me, whatever, it's as timely today and as needed today as What's Going On by Marvin Gaye was back then. Because that's this generation, part of this generation's anthem as far as uplifting each other and feeling better. So, I'm going to go with If These Walls Could Talk. I'm not going to front like I Ain't Like Only by Drake and, you know, everybody in there. Glory, I feel like that won an Oscar. Y'all good. Y'all don't need no more. Like, you know. But I would say it would probably be, even though it's Oil and Vinegar, it's gonna go to If These Walls or Only. I feel like the Grammys are gonna give it to Only though.
That would suck. But alright.
Yeah, it would, but you know.
That would suck. Alright, so best rap song. We have All Day.
Yeah.
Kanye, Alright, Kendrick, Energy, Drake, Glory Again.
Yeah.
And Trap Queen by Fetty Wap.
Again, it's undeniable I'm gonna switch it. It's undeniable to ignore the impact of Trap Queen.
Yes. Okay.
It's undeniable, and I'm not biased here. It's undeniable when I tell you, white folks. I saw. I'm not even gonna lie. I saw this little. I don't know his name, but y'all can pull it up on YouTube. It's this little 11-year-old kid, white kid, singing Trap Queen. It's like a ballad. Like it's almost like how you're like so. If you know like the history of music, people like how they would have these great black bands and great black singers back in the 50s and 60s. Yeah. They record this music, but record producers were either giving the songs away to white artists, or they wouldn't even put their faces on the actual record.
Yeah, that's
right. So it was a kind of a whitewash, like you taking it away. When I started seeing how many white people were loving this song, how many times it was being played on Z100, I said, this man has taken this song, and mind you, the video and song were out a year before, but once it hit, it was earth-shattering. It's undeniable to deny that man an incredible career for 2000 and 15. I'm not even going to hold you. When I listen to Fetty, I mean, he has a soulful type of voice. It's like, it's kind of like my coworker says it's like country music. It's like a rap country ballad.
I like that.
I like that. I was like, yo,
I like that.
I get it. So I can't deny Trap Queen, but again, you can't deny the impact of something like Energy, which had clubs and people and radio stations all over the country going crazy. And All Right, you said All Right.
Yep.
Okay, All Right is clearly my favorite.
Clearly.
Just because, again, with the point I made about Kendrick, but, you can't deny Fetty. You can't deny Fetty.
You know what? And I would be really happy for him. I will say that.
I'm not mad at Fetty, man.
This crossover game is real.
Oh, my gosh. Like, what? Like,
crossover game is real.
Yeah, how many hit singles? This past year?
Three?
Yeah, My Way, 679. RGB Island, like
did you get a chance to go through his whole album?
Nah, not really.
I got through most of it. I faded about halfway and woke back up like 3 songs later.
Right, yeah. Okay.
I mean, cause it almost sounds like one consistent song.
Of course, yes.
But I mean, it's okay. I mean, there are hits in there.
Fetty got hits
in there. There are hits in
there. Fetty has hits.
I'll say that
deny
much.
it.
All right, last one before we go to break. Best rap album, 2014 Forest Hill Drive, Compton. If you're reading this, it's too late. To Pimp a Butterfly and The Pink Print.
Okay, so I'm conflicted.
Okay,
and I'm gonna tell you why. So of course, now you know my love for To Pimp a Butterfly. Yes. I thought it was an immaculate album. I never been a Cole fan. I was never a Cole fan. I'll be honest. Like, I've seen his grind. Like, to people not looking at their phones when he performed, to him now selling out Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
His grind is undeniable. I think if we were to judge, I don't even think he reached his peak yet. So I don't think he's reached his peak. I think he has so much more room to go, because if we're talking about a race between him, Drake, and Kendrick, I feel like Drake is clearly up here. First of all, Drake don't miss. We'll get to that. Drake don't miss. Like I got a theory about Drake, but Drake don't miss. So he's here. Kendrick is still climbing. But I think Cole, what's funny about Cole is that I thought he was boring when he first came out. I wasn't really.
He's not that exciting.
I called him the blue collar Drake. It's like, yo, if you want to hear about emotions about student loans and about chicks not liking you, but now they like you because now you straighten up, you got a crooked smile and that shit cool now. Like, yo, you can listen to Cole. When I heard Forest Hill Drive, there wasn't a song that I saw that I heard that I was like, oh, I gotta skip this. Yeah. You can bump that shit straight.
Top to bottom.
And I love To Pimp a Butterfly. I think it's the most important album. One of the most important albums that came out in 2015. If not the most important album that came in 2015. But there's some songs where I'm like, oh, I can skip right now. I can't go to You. I don't want to feel you right now. Loving You is complicated. I can't get in that mind frame right now. But there isn't a song on Forest Hill that I would skip. So if Drake or Kendrick, if Cole or Kendrick don't win, like we gonna burn that bitch down.
I would be upset.
I'm protesting.
I would be upset. Yeah. I would be upset.
All
right, bet. All right, so we're gonna go to a quick break. When we come back, we have a lot more to talk about. Jesus Christ, we have a lot to talk about. Anyway, folks, this is the Encore Radio Show. Good morning. From growing up in rural Alabama to living as a hippie in California, author Lisa Thomas McMillan understands, in order to see the path that is prepared for you in life, you must first walk it for yourself. Lisa's inspirational book, titled Living Fulfilled, The Infectious Joy of Serving Others, is now available for purchase. All profits from the sales will go to help build a soup kitchen, which will provide thousands of monthly meals for the less fortunate. Visit www.pleasebelievepeoplearehungry.com to order your copy and help this worthy cause.
I'm here with Ruth Masfun of Pocket. So Ruth, what does Pocket mean? So Pocket means people of color in tech. And what we do is we amplify the voices of people of color who are in the tech industry and allow them to have their voices heard by writing and contributing to our digital platform. Where can everyone find this platform? It's they could go to peopleofcolourintech.com, also on Instagram and Twitter, POC in Tech.
All right, folks, let me back. It's the Encore Radio Show. Live here with Jameer.
What's up, y'all?
Yo, make sure you guys follow Jameer on Twitter, Instagram, at It's Jameer.
Absolutely. It's Jameer.
ITSJAMEER.
Yeah. 2
E's, folks.
Two E. Yeah, that's right. No IR, EER. Like, a lot of people misspell. Yo, you know, people send emails saying, hey, James. Like, James? Yo. Like, I don't even got to S in my name, like, remotely.
Yo, listen.
So, take care. Like, spell check and autocorrect.
Listen.
Put Jameer in your library. Your dictionary.
So, I my moniker is Wise. I had it now for it's almost in 5 years that I had the name Wise, and I got it because people always mispronounce or misspell my name or a combination of both, right? So I eventually realized that Wise sounds better, Wise works better, and if I ever want to go anywhere, I need to just I'm not gonna work with my real name no more. Cool. Now I get emails and they say, "Hey Wiz," and I'm like, so you're just gonna forget the E?
You're gonna forget the E?
You gonna forget the E, fam?
Ignorant.
Like, y'all just don't respect me. Y'all just don't respect my whole shit.
They don't care about us, bro.
Fuck it, man.
Because we're black.
They really don't. Yes.
We're black.
Yo, the segue game from this man is real.
Lay up. Come on. 4th grade. Segue champ.
All right, man. Jameer, we in some very troubling times, man. We got Donald Trump running for president.
Yeah.
We got Ted Cruz talking about carpet bombing people. Like, forget about the most recent debate. These niggas have had about 10 debates now. I watched one of the most recent debates, and they were talking about acceptable losses. Now, I know that every president has to deal with this, you know, whether it's Democrat, Republican, or whatever. But acceptable losses. This was a debate question in which they pressed the doctor, Ben Carson, of course, about having an acceptable loss, killing women and children to get a terrorist. And I'm like, this is what we fucking talking about? Yeah. We got real issues. The Republican debate, I've watched every single one of them, by the way, now. Watched all of them. The first time that there was a hint of a message about Black Lives Matter, or, you know, don't even say it in that sentence, about Black lives that matter, whether or not they matter or not, was the most recent debate. And they gave it to Rand Paul. He answered the question, and then no one else had to talk about it. And I was like, so this isn't a big enough issue. We're just gonna talk about ISIS for fucking 7 more debates. All right, bet. No problem. And that was my mini rant, my only rant for the show. It's all right. It's Jameer's time right here. So, Black Lives Matter. You talked earlier about people like something snapping. Listen to Kendrick's album. A lot of people like snapped. They were like, "Oh, very true." We know we are in troubling times. Like, we are having issues in the community. There is civil unrest, quote unquote. You know, people are upset about police brutality. People are upset that Black lives feel like they don't matter. Absolutely. You know? Some assholes are still out there saying all lives matter. You know, what was your take on 2015 and its relation to Black people?
That's a hell of a question. That
was a good answer right there.
It was a very trying year. Yes, definitely. It was a very trying year. It was a year that I really consider to be very instrumental in the growth of myself. Okay. I think that. I had to really learn and understand that Black people are extremely special and important. Okay. If we weren't as amazing and didn't come from a divine presence like we do, there wouldn't be so many people trying to tear us down. Facts. Right? So I had to learn that. That was definitely one. I had to realize that, yo, I'm of so much importance that not only are my features and my culture being used as a commodity, but people are literally trying to kill us. And then what's crazy is taking the same things that we have. Yes. You know? Yes. You know, I think I truly realized what Paul Mooney said on the Chappelle show. Everybody want to be a nigga, but nobody want to be a nigga. Yes, yes. You know? Everybody want the lips, the hair, the ass, the skin. But when it come down to it, don't nobody want to really embrace us. No, you know, don't nobody really want to be associated with Black people, but want to take everything associated with Black people. I had a chance to go down for Hot 97 and to WBLS to the 20th year anniversary of the Million Man March. Yes. I was there too. Yeah. Very important. Very important. I did I did some corresponding for it. So.
I think I saw a couple of videos. I know I did see a couple of videos.
Yeah. I had the fortunate enough. I went down there on behalf of the station and really on behalf of myself. It was something that I wanted to do.
Yeah. You went anyway. It was...
I went and I was like, yo, I'm going to get people's lives and their pain on camera because this is something that people need to see. This is what America needs to see.
One person that I remember for a fact, this one woman, I think her son had passed away, and she was telling you her story. It was the most powerful part of that because I went and I had never had a chance. I had never been. Again, I'm still, I don't know. I still don't necessarily, being West Indian, having a West Indian background, I don't necessarily correlate or understand all of the issues that Black Americans have.
I get that.
I'm still, I don't have that history. Right. I can't go to my grandmother from the South and be like, yo, so let's talk about like, I don't have that. Grandmother from the South, I don't have that. I don't have that history in that relation. So I don't understand as much. And I'm getting there. And as I get there, I always pass that along to my family and say, okay, well, Black Americans do this because, or this happens because, and you gotta look at it from this perspective and that perspective. So I get it, but I don't see it as much. I don't have a cousin. I've never been to Rikers. I don't have a cousin who's been in Rikers. I don't have a cousin who's been in jail. I don't understand. I've never had a cousin who's been shot by the police. None of my cousins, including myself, have ever been stopped and frisked. So I don't understand per se. Okay. But that doesn't mean that I shouldn't understand, or at least I shouldn't try to. Yeah. I think a lot of people, they play the ignorant card, and it's not right.
That's very true. And some of it, you can't really blame because they are ignorant to the fact, not by choice, but by just because they have no experience with some people. And it's hard to believe, but some people in 2016 in America have never seen a Black person in their life up close and personal. If you go to places like Montana, you go to places like I remember my boy a few years ago, he had an internship in South Dakota. Jesus Why? Christ. I don't know. But he was this was the phase. It was like college, so it was like around 08, 09, and it was cool to be a shotter.
Yeah.
My man had the ding dong locks going like this in a mohawk. And people were like looking at him like literally like he was a Martian. He told me, he was like, it was the most uncomfortable situation. I was the only Black person in the town. Yeah. But there's still some people who have seen, this is like the first or second Black person they've seen in their life.
The interesting part about that was that just this last week, I had actually, matter of fact, the episode is going to come out tomorrow. Okay. For those listening to this now in 2 weeks, we had Matt O from Upcoming Hip Hop, and Matt is from Wisconsin. Right. Matt told me that 95% of the people in his town were white. Right. And that in his entire school, he probably only had 2 or 3 Black people.
That is
I was like,
scary.
I asked him, I was like, yo, so when you got to New York, how weird was it? He said it was a complete culture shock. Yeah. Like he understands that he loves the fact that that's what it was like. That he actually got he has a chance now to see diversity as it should. Like, people don't get that. From one hand, I understand. Yeah. From another hand, I don't think that people should make your issues feel lesser because they've never experienced it.
Now that's very true. Now I was solely talking on the fact that, like, you get people who genuinely don't understand because they've never seen a Black person. The only time they see Black people is on TV, right? But then you have these people who know good and goddamn well that they know Black people, and then they try to undermine. Oh, slavery was so long ago. Get over it, man. No. Let's talk about everything that stemmed from slavery. If you really break down all the shit that we go through, you can pinpoint it to slavery. It's like a hierarchy. Yes. We go through so much shit. Feeling of self-worth, colorism, poverty, eating habits.
I have experienced colorism.
Yes, like we've all.
That shit is.
We all have.
I didn't. So I hate talking about myself, but. I moved to Barbados when I graduated college in 2010. And
you came back?
Yeah, I did. Unfortunately.
Yo,
unfortunately.
Dog. You bugging. Crop over? Never been? Want to go?
I did. But yeah, I came back and I came back for different reasons. But when I got back, I kind of looked back on my entire time there, and I realized that colorism is real.
Oh yeah.
Barbados is a nation of nothing but black people. There are probably about 98% black people in Barbados. Yet the prime ministers are all light skinned.
Yeah.
You know, the people that are in higher positions are lighter. You know, and I don't want my Bajans to be mad at me. I'm sorry. You know, but I am just speaking the truth.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, I am not sure if Rihanna was dark skinned, if she would have even made it out of Barbados, to be completely honest. You know? So
speaking the truth.
I mean, you ever heard of Shontelle?
No.
Point it.
Okay.
Shontelle is the other Bajan artist that came out in Barbados.
Okay.
Amazing artist. You don't hear shit about her.
Right.
You know, so I mean, you know, colorism is real for a fact.
No, right,
and
right.
That shit shocked me.
Yeah.
That shit shocked me.
It's very, you know, the light skin versus dark skin thing, team light skin, team dark skin. I mean, that was just a way to divide us from slavery. Like you can go back. If anybody wants to read the Willie Lynch letters or hasn't read them, I suggest you do, because it pinpoints this dude was, in terms of the destruction of the black culture, black mind, the black family. It was a genius plan what he put together. How he was able to take slaves and destroy them physically and mentally. It was crazy. Yeah. Right? So he said that it should last mentally, even if slavery is over, for about 300 years. Like, if you look at everything he pinpointed about instilling fear in black people, how we had our leaders shot right in front of us, all that stuff to instill fear. You have the strongest black people, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, mega ever, the strongest black leaders that people look up to, and then they're just taken away from you. Yeah. You don't have, like, you gotta really think about this. And for people to just say, hey man, get over it, it happened 300, 400, 500 years ago. Nah, we still dealing with some of the mental shit that go along with it. We still trying to find out our self-worth as a people.
There was a conversation on Twitter recently, and I swore I was never gonna get into this ever again. Right. There's a conversation on Twitter recently about Africans, West Indians, and Black Americans, and the differences between the three. And it eventually got back to, which is where it always gets back to, is that Africans and West Indians don't like Black Americans. We see them as lesser. Right? And it is true. Like, it is.
Oh, I know it's true. I've experienced it.
It's true. It's true to the point that as a West Indian student, as a West Indian child, I can tell you that we're taught that they do this, they do that. They're different from us. We are better than them. Right? And it is so... It's such a deeper issue. I wasn't gonna get into it anymore, because I felt like the problems that we have is that we are so divided. Yeah. That we don't even see each other as the same. Exactly. Right? The other thing is that why I feel such pride to myself is because that I know that from a history standpoint, I can go back to, like, I know that my family's from Barbados, and if aside from this generation of my family, so there's only myself. I was the first child in my family born in America. Right. So every kid after me, so it's probably like maybe 7 of us now. Aside, you take out us 7, and the rest of my family is from Barbados. And then if you go back, you know, I guess maybe 200-300 years, you go back there, we are found in Africa. Yeah. Right. And I know that I can talk about crop over. I can talk about Kadooman Day, which is the actual day itself, whatever. Right. I can talk about soca. I can talk about a lot of things, whatever, that people here necessarily wouldn't have that. They don't have that correlation. That connection. They don't have that history. Very true. As much, and it bothers them. So there's always this underlying issue amongst all of us, and I hate it. Yeah. I feel bad and I hate it at the same time, you know. But that leads to us having divisions, you know. My great aunt was here. She's from Barbados as well, like I said. And she was talking to me about, we had a lot of conversations while she was here, just talking about things that happened in America over the time span. Right. And she's lived in London as well. She's lived in London for an extended, like, 20 years and like that, whatever, and moved back to Barbados. But she's been to America a lot. And I had to explain to her, I was like, listen, a lot of stuff that happened here compared to London and compared to Barbados are so much more different that you need to leeway or understanding is absolutely necessary.
Yeah, it was. Look, I mean, you gotta really take a look at it. Like the Middle Passage, like, you know, they dropped a lot of the Caribbeans off in the Caribbean, and then they brought everybody else to America. You know, then they split everybody up in America. Like, you know, we don't have that reach back. You know, so a lot of our culture is kind of the American culture, and it's you know, it's when you start to really realize that, it's like, oh, well, I don't necessarily have that reach back. I can't just go connect with somebody, you know, and even though I am from like my family is from the Caribbean people, but you know, it's a mixture. So when you don't have that self identity, you know, that starts to diminish your self-worth. Like I know West Indians, and what I love about West Indians, that, you know, West Indians as a people, we take pride in where we come from.
Pride in industry is in the model for Barbados.
Exactly.
I can't get away from it.
You take pride because you have your own culture. You have something that is tangible that you guys have helped produce, whether it's crops, whether it's this, whether it's that, you know. But when it comes to African Americans, if you really don't know your history, it's like, yo, you really, what your extension of what your family is, what neighborhood you from.
It is.
You know?
It is.
That's literally the extension of the generations. Like you've spent your time here on this block.
My producer actually, I was talking to him one day, and he told me that his whole family is from Harlem. Or his whole family lives in Harlem. I was like, your whole family lives in Harlem?
Wow.
I can't even grasp that. I wish I could. That's crazy. I can't even grasp that. But then when I think about it in the perspective of Barbados, my whole family doesn't live in the same area. But I know that I could travel to see my whole family in an hour.
Right.
Like, in terms of going to the neighborhood, not actually going to each individual house, I could see them in an hour, you know? And I wish I had that luxury or whatever, but I also I see value in the fact that your whole, like, you can go to your grandfather's house.
It's amazing.
Yes, it is.
And Harlem has such a rich history. Like, you know, Harlem has a rich history, and it was the first place of migration, like one of the first places. Not even for just people coming up from South, but people coming over for the island. Yes. You know, like a lot of my family lived in Harlem. Like my great grandparents marched with Marcus Garvey. You know, this is Harlem is some place where, okay, you know, if I had a chance to not know where I came from, and my family migrated to Harlem, like, I would be okay with that, because this was the home of the Black African American Renaissance.
And you know, the one thing I like about this, right, is that, so I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn too. Shout out to Brooklyn. You know, from Flatbush, well, from Canarsie and Flatbush, I guess you'd say.
What up, Cha-Cha?
And you know, my thing about that is that I see Brooklyn as its own state. I see Brooklyn as its own world, literally, right? But when I moved to Washington Heights, I was about as close to Harlem as I was gonna get, and I really understood the value of Harlem. And I thought back and I started listening. I'm like, yo, honestly, like, a lot of of the curators and creators here in the city are from Harlem. They are from Harlem. It's
amazing.
You know, and like, you know, I now that I really are foot deep in this, whatever, like, I look at it and I'm like, yo, like, there's a few Brooklynites, but a lot of them are from Harlem and the Bronx. And I mean, I respect that. I really respect that, whatever. And I respect their views, because it is one that is deep in culture.
Deep in culture, absolutely.
I think diversity is important, which is why I really I go to Brooklyn and I fall in love all over again, whatever. But when I come back uptown, I really do understand and appreciate, like, the value that they have. Man. You know, so that's dope. But anyway, so working for Emmis, you had an opportunity to see a lot of Black excellence in the city. Yeah. What's one of your favorite road stories?
Do I have a road story? I don't know if I have necessarily. Do I have a road story? Oh, okay. All right. So boom, it just clicked in my head. All right. So I was this was last year. I had a chance to go to Florida for the Disney Dreamers Academy. Okay. Which is hosted by Steve Harvey, who is on WBLS. And what the Disney Dreamers Academy is like, it takes, like, these kids have to write letters. Okay. You know, these kids have to write letters in the Disney Dreamers Academy to come to this conference in Orlando, Florida. And you know, they write about their life and what they want to do and what they've accomplished in school, what they've accomplished, and it's for, you know, it's for a certain age, but any kind of color. Doesn't matter, black, white, Asian, you know, Latino, it doesn't matter. Anybody could apply and has a chance to get in. So they take about 100 students from all around the country. Yeah. You don't have to be the best student. That's what Steve said. You don't have to be the best student, but you have to be the student who has the best spirit. I think he said, I'm paraphrasing, but it was so amazing that I got a chance to go, because not only did I get to see these amazing children really accomplish their dreams and aspirations and be around those kind of celebrities, but I got to see the celebrities, I got to see the speakers, I got to see people give so much poignant advice that it hit me. As a 27, I was 26. It hit me as a 27. Now, the 27-year-old man. You know what I'm saying? Understanding the position that I was in, I was just in awe. Like, because these people were literally telling me, like, yo, you got a lot of potential. You know? What you need to do is understand that potential can take you far if you work for it. And it's simple, but, you know, people like Steve Harvey, you know, told stories, and Terrence J and Michael Strahan, who I look up to, because he literally get like no days off. I literally don't see him one day of the week. He works for the NFL. He does Fox's stuff. I mean, he had television shows going on at the same. Like, this man is.
He's on the Regis. I mean,
Regis is on
the
Michael and Kelly.
Michael and Kelly. There we go.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, does Good Morning America. He does NFL. Like, he don't sleep.
Out here.
He be out here, but this is a man who realized he had one gift in football and was able to channel that into several other different things. So
he's a Shaq of football.
Yo, dog, and that's another person like Shaq and Kenny and them. Like, I applaud them, because it's not just basketball. Like, they are really, anytime I see somebody doing stuff like we doing, that has an opportunity to interview, has an opportunity to host, like, I see them, and each time I'm an observer. I'm a student of the game. So I realize, like, I'm good, but I'm never going to be the best. But what I can do is be the best me. So I study people, and I take little bits and bites of people's, how they approach things, how they approach interviews, how they approach hosting. And that's, you have to be a student of the game. I'm not taking your style, but best believe, I admire you, because you do the same thing that I do. So what can I learn from you? So that's exactly what I did at the Disney Dreamers Academy. Like, that was probably the most exciting time I was out. And then another time, which is totally not exciting, it was just funny. We had to shoot something for the Universal Circus. So we went to Atlanta. It was me and my coworker. Went to Atlanta. Long story short, we shot like maybe 4 shows in a day. We was tired, but we was looking to turn up at the end of the night. We was in Atlanta. We met these like 3 random girls, and it was just crazy. So, you know, we drinking, you know, this one girl, she was like from all over the place. She was drinking and talking about ISIS, and yo, it was creepy. It was fucking creepy. I swear to you, I was like, so me and my man can't stop laughing, because this other girls from Kansas City, her and her friend, the other girl, you know, like, she liked me, but she was like she was a bigger woman. And I'm like, I'm past the point of I'm laughing, but I think it's giving her the impression to keep going. But I'm like so lit where I'm telling her, like, stop, please. Like, stop trying to. And at the end of the night, she was like, I'm going back to my room, but I might as well just pick. The woman picks me up like I'm her bride and goes, I think you should come with me. I'm like, stop. Like, and my man is just laughing. So, I had a hangover. It was crazy next morning. We had to go back to the circus. But, you know, those are my 2 stories. Shorty was like, very cherubic. She was stocky. She lifted me up. I'm like, yo, get out of here. So that was it. That was another one.
I generally don't ever laugh for real on the show. Yeah, that was good.
Yo, shorty, she lived. Yo, I'll show you a picture if I still have her. Like she DM'd me after. She's a beefy chick. She was brolic.
Oh Jesus! Shout out to her though.
Shout out to her for being strong as hell. Yeah, man.
Oh man. All right, so we got 3 minutes left. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna throw all these questions in here.
All right, we can do rapid fire.
All right, bet. So the takeover. Boom. Shout out to Robin J.
Robin J.
You guys did the show with Raekwon.
Amazing.
How was that?
Oh man, I mean Raekwon is one of my favorite rappers. I had a chance to interview him twice prior to that. I mean, and it just in 2015, celebrating 20 years of his Only Built for Cuban Links, like. I was excited. I was a fan, and we kind of brought that to the stage. We excited. Had Dee Reese on it, Chris Casanova, Wordsmith, who just rocked. Who's next?
Segway King.
Look how I'm doing addition. All right, so who's next? He just rocked it, and a couple of Lafayette Stokely, and
that's my man's right there.
it was amazing. It brought the essence back of New York hip hop.
Dope.
That was one of the first really big New York shows that I saw in a minute. That was like solely pretty much New York artists. It was amazing.
Who's next?
Who's the next? All right, who's the next? Really, really random. Wasn't even supposed to be there. I was gonna go to support Wordsmith and Chris. Shout out to them. Quality. Deani was like Scottie Beam. Sorry, Scottie Beam was like.
Beat you up for that.
I know. I'm not gonna shout at government out like that, but Scottie Beam was like, all right. Shiny Culture, who usually hosts, he's on vacation. Peter Rosenberg, who also like is back and forth between, because he does amazing stuff. He's an amazing dude, but he was doing so much stuff. He only could be there for 2 of the guests. She called me and was like, "Look, I need you to host Who's Next. Like, I need you to at least host, like, I need you to bring on like 3-4 of the guests." So I'm like, this is mine. It was like 6 hours before the show. I'm trying to get my mind right. I was only going as a fan. I was like, but I had to put myself in that position. Amazing show. Everybody killed it, and that was my first Who's Next that I hosted. Yo, it was love. I feel love on stage, so it was amazing.
Man. All right, 60 seconds, all yours.
60 seconds on me. Okay, 60 seconds on me. I'm somebody who loves this culture, man. I'm a host and an interviewer. I'm an entertainer. I love people. I love the culture. I love hip hop. I love music. I love our people, and I feel like what I'm doing is just trying to put myself in a position where, I could make money and be a fool and be informative off of what I'm doing, but also pulling people up, because there's not enough of us in positions of high power, especially in the entertainment industry. So if I'm able to be in a position, I wanna try to help us. I wanna help our people and make this enjoyable for everybody, man. I like doing stuff like this. I get to be myself. I gotta be at a desk and typing and editing and everything. Like, I get to be truly me, and I hope that I conveyed this through this
that's what's
station.
up.
What a segue to the end.
Yo, that's how you use 60 seconds.
What up, Cha-Cha? How you? You alright? Okay.
At It's Jameer, 2 E's, folks, 2 E's.
One off.
Twitter, Instagram, folks. Twitter, Instagram. All right. And again, like I said, this is Wise Soul at The Real Wise on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys follow the Encore Radio Show on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Again, at Encore Radio Show. Every Mondays, folks. Every Monday, we put out a new episode.
Let's go.
Promoting some curator or creator in the city or outside the city. It's the Encore Radio Show. Good morning.
It's a pleasure.
The Encore Radio Show Podcast is an indie creative network production, recorded at Real Life Studios, produced by Lance Huff, and executively produced by Chris Copacetic.